Now, former governor of Anambra State and 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, finally made a long-expected move to defect to the African Democratic Congress on Wednesday during a special event organized by Southeast stakeholders from the People's Democratic Party, Labour Party, and All Progressives Grand Alliance in Enugu. Obi said he was beginning a journey to rescue Nigeria for proper socio-economic development that will be unifying and inclusive. He also issued a strong warning to those who may be planning to rig the 2027 election, saying they would be resisted by every means lawful and legitimate.
Not seen people who benefited our democracy be part of celebrating electoral fraud publicly, and we are saying that those who are planning to rig an election in Nigeria come 2027, we will resist it by every means lawful and legitimate. And we are urging this happen because we have weak institutions like INEC, which we are urging them in the coming election. We must do whatever it is to follow the rules and the regulation, starting by educational qualification for eligibility to sit for any election. We can no longer be where they are asking whether this person went to school or not. We have 1 year now to determine who went to school and who didn't go to school. We have 1 year now for people to tell us the school they attended. And when they left those schools, we don't want it to be something we go to court after election. They say it's pre-election matter. We have pre-election situation now to verify everybody who wants to contest the election for Nigeria. And we must follow that.
Well, I'm now being joined by National Coordinator, Obedient Movement Nationwide, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, to walk us through the significance of this move by Peter Obi at this time. Good afternoon, Dr. Tanko. Great to see you and Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you and Happy New Year to everybody. Good afternoon.
Of course, fantastic. Now, when it came to deciding this movement or this changing of the platform to ADC, Peter Obi's decision, what metrics were considered to ensure that this is going to be the right platform for his political aspirations?
Let me use the words of Mr. Peter Obi exactly. He said there is a national challenge in the country at the moment, and it required clarity, it required courage, and it requires decisive action to be able to wrestle and rescue Nigeria back into the Committee of Nations. Unfortunately, against those who have benefited from the democratic setting, who now have conspired against the states, enjoying it with a stolen mandate. So you see, majority of the thing that has been considered was the issue of unification and ensuring that the country is secured, whereby you have a candidate that have the capacity, consistency, with compassion to lead the country, considering the simple fact also that you need a unifier, somebody who has the determination and the zeal in putting Nigeria into the right perspective. Somebody who has the managerial capacity, who can manage wealth, who can reject the system back into life, with ensuring that every institution of Nigerian political terrain is back into action. And we see it in His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. And there's a saying that says that you can be forgiven for making mistake, but you cannot be forgiven for keeping quiet. So therefore, it has become important for our gladiators in the political system to come together to fight for the soul of Nigeria, so that democracy that is already been triumphing in the country will not be put in danger. So those are the basic factors that are being considered in ensuring that we work together as a team.
All right, Dr. Tanko, we heard Peter Obi just a moment ago, at least an excerpt of his speech, where he said there will be lawful resistance and exploration of legitimate options if there's any rigging of the 2027 elections. When we look at the factors that were at play in 2023 in terms of the INEC factor and the way that things operated then, and also some would say to an extent that they don't trust the courts, because we often hear go to court if you're not satisfied. What would change if there's actual intention to rig, and your principal or you are not content with whatever might be the outcome? What are the options that you would look to explore, knowing that all these factors might still be in play?
It is established that the government in power is using negative executive power to continue to conspire against the people and put them down against the interests of the collective. But one of the factors that will be used, of course, is that we are urging the Nigerian people to come out with positive power of the people to resist every means that will continue to dwell them into poverty and deny them of legitimate voting and ensuring that the right person is being voted into power. Secondly, of course, as Democrats, we will use every means necessary to explore every legal position to challenge this particular heinous crime against the people. Thirdly, there will be, of course, very serious call for international communities to come in defense of democracy, which has already been established in the country. And at the end of it all, there will be a strategic denial or defense of our mandate by the time every Nigerian has voted, and we are sure, because we will also be able to collate our own independent result to ensure that every vote is being counted. So we want to assure Nigerians that this time around, every of their votes will be counted, and we will ensure that it correlates with what is being presented with INEC. If there is a difference, that's a question will be asked and actions will be taken.
Dr. Tanko, we've seen how your candidate has moved from various parties, from PDP to Labour Party and now the ADC. And of course, we know for a fact it's open that there have been numerous conflicts that might have contributed to those decisions. Can you tell us about some of the lessons that you've learned, or that your principal has learned through he went by switching various teams or using various political vehicles to try to arrive at his objective?
Expanding the scope, ensuring that you get across to every nook and cranny of the country, making sure that you establish everybody into the polling unit to give you the result that is already taking place and mobilize the people across the 176,000 polling units. Ensure that you get closer to the people who are, one we can say, they say and people obey within their areas of interest, and to collaborate with other gladiators, contestants who have also interest in different political sphere. And that is exactly what have resulted into the coalition. Some of this lesson that was learned was that we needed to ensure that every structure is in place from the north, west, east, and south, so that everybody is involved. And that is the reason why you will see the conglomerates of the individuals. As of yesterday, what you saw in Enugu was a meeting of people, individuals, credible Nigerians who have, stand the test of time to come together. In that particular hall, you saw nothing less than about 3 to 4 or 5 ex-governors, members of the National Assembly serving. In fact, the MC of the occasion was the former national chairman and at the same time a serving senator, Sir Victor Ume, who handled the mic to tell you the kind of A-class individual who came into that particular group. And the motion was moved by a former deputy Senate Federal House of Reps speaker, and then it was affirmed by the former speaker of the Federal House of Representatives in Nigeria. This shows you the quality of the kind of individual that is being mobilized to ensure that this time around, these lessons that were learned are being ameliorated and taken care of so that we will not have the repeat of what happened in 2023.
Dr. Tanko, you sound very confident with all those that are supporting, that show support with this, with his entry into the ADC, and you've mentioned a lot of personalities that are of quality, like you say. But are there any concerns, knowing that, as the saying goes, with politicians, it's not about permanent friends or enemies, but interests? Are there any concerns whatsoever that those who are standing with him today might be lured into other parties or take other decisions that might not be in his best interest so far?
Well, in agreeing with you, that is the reason, you know, politics is dynamic. I agree with you totally. But we have confidence in these particular individuals who have shown resilience, determination. The issue is about you drowning in a river or an ocean with a two-edged sword. It's either you grab it or you drown. So for anybody who may be thinking otherwise, it's an opportunity for him or her to take a decisive position, because Nigeria is actually sinking and we are seeing it with our naked eyes. So you either go with the coalition and build a viral and united country, or we all suffer for it. So at this time, I think it is better for those who want to take that particular decision to take it together. But be mindful also, the Nigerian youth who His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is leveraging on seriously are also a backup, and they are watching and they are ready to take their action. So anybody, you can do anything, but he has the people to answer to. Remember, you are seeing what is happening in the country, where members of the Federal House of Representatives going back into their homes are being beaten to a point of stupor. Not to say that we are supporting violence, but it's a practical example of what you may expect if you decide to run against the will of the people. So we are asking everybody to do the right thing for the benefit of our country. And even inside and outside, or internationally, look at the fate of the country. Look at the sovereignty of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigeria is not poor. Nigeria was just stolen to poverty. They stole the country's treasury to poverty. Nigerians youth are not weak. They are very strong and determined. You could see what they have done in the music industry and then the movie industry. The intellectual capacity that Nigeria is being down with has been tested and trusted not only within the country but outside the country. So we have the wherewithal, we have the landmass, we have the people to make this country great. And this is the time to rejig and retake Nigeria for the interest of the people. So it's either you are with us or you are with the country, you are against the country.
Dr. Yunusa Tanko, we'd like to thank you for your time and analysis here on